We're hacking the IELTS speaking test. Let's learn what the IELTS examiner wants from you and how to overcome our speaking roadblocks. Let's go. The IELTS speaking examination is a test just like all others. If you understand the statistics, like these ones, you can prepare better. Based on this graph, you should focus on questions that talk about places. Where do you live? What do you like about your city? And where do you want to travel? Or focus on entertainment. Brainstorm the entertainment you like. So let's take a look. Part one of the examination is an introduction. The examiner wants to know how comfortable you are in English. It's about 4 to 5 minutes, and the information should be natural. You don't have to study these topics. They will ask you questions about personal information, daily routines, your likes and your dislikes, and your future plans. These are questions relevant to your life, so you should feel comfortable when speaking. Let's look at some tips on how to do that. First, you should familiarize yourself with the topics. Get a parent or a friend to ask you common questions about yourself. Like, what is your hometown like? Or what do you do for entertainment? How do you spend your free time? What do you like most about your school? You're going to introduce yourself and talk about your interests. Feel calm, feel comfortable. Point an example. In English, in Western English, we never answer a question with yes or no. It is always yes, but, yes, however, no, but, no, and. Never finish on just a simple answer. Always add more detail. Questions will look like this. Hey, let's talk about your hometown or village. What kind of place is it? Cool. What's interesting about your hometown? Hmm. What kind of jobs do the people in your town do? Uh, Side note, as an English teacher, the biggest problem I see students have in this section is they just don't have opinions about all topics. You might not have ever thought about the buildings in your city, or what you like about your city, or the types of jobs that are present there. So, what you should do is go through all the different topics on this graph and think about your opinion. Part two of the IELTS speaking test is your cue card. The examiner will present a cue card to you. You have 1 minute to make notes and to think about it, and you will be speaking for 2 minutes. Well, 1 to 2 minutes. All the cue cards have the same format. Describe a time when. You should say when, where, what, and explain why it's important to you. Same format every time, different topics. Some of the most commonly used topics are about a location, a person, or a time. That's quite general. So search the internet for cue cards and you can practice a lot more. This is what we need to know before we do the test. You have 1 minute to prepare. Use this time effectively. Most students sit there idly thinking. Try active thinking. Plan out your speech. Think about your introduction sentence. Your intro sentence should directly address the question. Your main ideas should be parts 1, 2, and 3. The what, the when, and the where. Your conclusion can say why it is important to you. This is a very basic structure, but you only have 1 minute to plan. In that 1 minute, I recommend writing down 3 to 4 vocabulary words related to this subject. Hugely important to demonstrate your knowledge. If your subject is about a sport that you like, think about words like equipment, ambitions, the Olympics or the championship, tournament. These types of words demonstrate you know this subject well. Finally, be calm, be confident. Always add enough detail so you have your point and your example. So, case in point, part three is relating to part two. You have 3 to 4 minutes to answer follow up questions. The examiner is going to take your topic and they're going to answer questions more in depthly. They're always going to choose one of these four areas to build on your topic. Let's say, for example, your cue card in part two was about buildings in your city. What is an interesting building in your city? Describe where you went to, what you saw, and why it is important to you. Then, in part three, they will ask you about the employment. What do the large skyscrapers in your city do for employment? Does this have a positive effect on employment? Or is there a social impact? So they will always connect these ideas from part two and part three. But what does that really mean? Well, in most tests, like science and math, they want you to just answer real numbers. But in the IELTS test, they want you to think critically about subjects. You should be analyzing the world around you and explain through your opinion. That's how you will get a band 7 or 8 on the IELTS test. Topics about globalization require good vocabulary and good understanding of the world. Social impact, technology are high level topics. Talking about a car that you like requires basic English, but explaining how that car has an environmental impact requires you to use more sophisticated vocabulary. In order to do this, try to make large connections to the world around you, to think critically about everything in your world. Here are the necessary tips you need in order to pass the IELTS speaking test. It's okay to ask questions. Listen to the examiner very carefully, pay attention, and if you don't understand them, it is totally okay to say, "Can you please repeat that? Can you say that once again?" This won't deduct points, but it will demonstrate you are listening. Always express your opinion. Be personal and memorable. This test is about you and your thoughts. Elaborate and expand on your subject as much as possible. Remember what I said about yes or no questions? Use follow ups. Yes, but, no, but, and, so, because. Don't forget. Of course, manage your time effectively. All of the sections will have a certain given time. Watch the clock. Don't speak under the time and stay within your window of 1 to 2 minutes. You might have a lot to say, but remember, be effective and concise with your answer. Good luck on your IELTS speaking test. Thanks for joining me. I'm Scott from English Enhancement, and I'll see you next time.